learners, and welcome back to English Flow. I'm Kim, and I'm really glad you're here. If this is your first time here, hit subscribe, tap that bell, and join thousands of learners building real English every day. And if you've already been with me for a while, thank you. Let's get started. Here's something that happens to almost everyone, in almost every country, almost every single day. You say hello to someone, and then nothing. Silence. Your mind goes blank. You don't know what comes next. Maybe it's a new coworker. Maybe it's your neighbor in the elevator. Maybe it's someone standing next to you at the bus stop. You already know how to say hello. We covered that in an earlier episode. Today, we're going one step further. We're learning what to say after hello, so the conversation actually keeps going. Let's meet Maria. It's her first week at a new job, and she's standing by the coffee machine, holding her cup a little too tightly. A coworker named Alex walks in. Alex smiled and said, "Morning. Crazy weather today, huh?" Let's stop right there for a second. Crazy weather simply means unusual weather, weather you didn't expect. And that small word "huh" at the end doesn't really mean anything by itself. People add it to soften a comment and turn it into something closer to a question. It's Alex's way of saying, "What do you think about this?" Maria understood every word. She just froze because she didn't know how to answer. This exact moment happens to English learners everywhere. You understand what someone said, and your mind still goes empty. So let's fix that, one piece at a time. Talking about weather is one of the easiest ways to start a conversation in English, especially in the UK and the US. It's simple, and almost everyone has something to say about it. Here's how Maria could answer. She could say, "I know, right? I wasn't ready for this rain." "I know, right?" is a very common way to agree with someone quickly and warmly. It means, "Yes, exactly, I feel the same." If it were a sunny day instead, Maria might say, "It's beautiful outside, isn't it? Perfect for a walk later." Or she could go a little more personal and say, "Tell me about it. I forgot my umbrella at home." Tell me about it doesn't mean the other person should actually explain something. It's a fixed expression that means, "I completely agree." Or, "I know exactly what you mean." Look closely at all three answers. None of them is just yes or no. Each one adds one small extra detail. That's the real secret behind small talk. One short reaction plus one small piece of information. Nothing more complicated than that. Back in the story, Maria took a breath and finally answered. She said, "Tell me about it. I got soaked walking here." Soaked means completely wet, usually from rain. Alex laughed and said, "Same. My shoes are still wet." Notice what happened. The conversation didn't stop after one line. It grew, just a little, from a single honest comment. Once the weather is covered, there's another classic topic that works especially well on a Monday or a Friday: the weekend. Picture a coworker asking you first thing on a Monday morning. She might ask, "So how was your weekend?" A lot of learners freeze right here too, because they try to build a long, perfect answer in their head before speaking. You don't need that at all. Keep it short and light. If your weekend was quiet, you could say, "Pretty good. Thanks. I just relaxed at home. If something more interesting happened, you could say, it was great actually. I went hiking with some friends. And if nothing much happened at all, that's completely fine too. You could say, nothing special, honestly, just a quiet one. Here's an important habit worth building early. After you answer, you usually ask the same question back. It shows real interest, and it keeps the conversation balanced instead of one-sided. You could ask, "And you? Did you do anything fun?" A few minutes into their conversation, Alex asked Maria directly. He said, "So, how are you finding the job so far? It's your first week, right?" Maria answered, "Yeah, it's my first week. It's going well, actually. Everyone's been really friendly." Alex replied, "That's good to hear. It can be overwhelming at first." Overwhelming describes a feeling when something feels like too much all at once. Too much information, too many new people, too many new things to remember. Here's something many learners miss completely, even at higher levels. In natural English, when someone tells you something, you don't just wait quietly for your turn to speak. You react out loud in the moment. A short reaction proves you're actually listening, and it gives the other person a reason to keep talking. If something sounds pleasant, you could say, "That sounds nice." If something sounds surprising, you could say, "No way, really?" This simply means, "I'm surprised, tell me more." And if something sounds a little unlucky or difficult, you could say, "That's rough." Rough here doesn't mean physically rough. It means difficult or unpleasant. Imagine a friend tells you, "I finally finished my English course last week." A flat, forgettable answer would just be, "Okay." A much warmer, more natural answer sounds like this instead. "That's amazing. You must be so relieved." Now imagine a different friend tells you, "My flight got delayed for 6 hours yesterday." Instead of staying silent, you could say, "Oh no, that's rough. What did you do the whole time?" Look at that last example carefully. First comes a short reaction, and then a follow-up question right after it. That small combination is exactly what keeps a conversation alive, instead of letting it die after one sentence. Every topic eventually runs its course, and that's completely normal. English offers a few simple phrases that let you move smoothly to something new without it feeling sudden or strange. "By the way" is one of the most useful ones. It opens the door to a new topic gently. You could say, "By the way, have you tried the new coffee place near the office?" "Speaking of" works a little differently. It connects your new topic back to something already mentioned. If coffee just came up, you could say, "Speaking of coffee, I really need another cup." And sometimes the simplest option is just a fresh, friendly question with no linking phrase at all. You could ask, "So, what do you usually do after work?" Back in the story, Alex glanced at the clock and shifted the conversation towards something new. He said, "By the way, are you coming to the team lunch later? A few of us are heading out around noon." Maria smiled and said, "Oh, I didn't know about that." "Yeah, I'd love to come." Every conversation, no matter how pleasant, eventually needs to end. Walking away suddenly, without a word, can feel a little rude in English-speaking cultures. Luckily, there are gentle, natural ways to close things. You could say, "Well, I should get back to work." You could add a little warmth with, It was really nice talking to you. And if you already know you'll see the person again soon, you could say, I'll catch you later then. This simply means see you soon. It's a casual, friendly way to say goodbye. Alex checked the clock one more time and said, Well, I should get back to my desk. It was really nice talking to you, Maria. Maria replied, You too. I'll see you at lunch. And just like that, a 5-minute conversation by a coffee machine turned into something a little bigger. A new coworker felt a little more welcome, and somewhere in that ordinary exchange, a friendship quietly began. So here's everything sitting underneath today's episode. Weather and weekend plans give you an easy way in. Reacting with real interest instead of a flat okay keeps the other person talking. Phrases like by the way and speaking of let you shift topics smoothly. And a warm, polite, close leaves people with a good feeling instead of an awkward ending. None of these phrases are complicated on their own. What matters is using them naturally without overthinking every word before it leaves your mouth. The more you practice, the more automatic all of this becomes. Here's something worth trying today. The next time you talk to someone, a neighbor, a classmate, a cashier, try adding just one small extra detail to your answer instead of a plain yes or no. That tiny habit alone will make your English sound remarkably more natural. I'm Kim. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care of yourself and keep flowing.